Well, hi, thanks for joining me here in my shop this morning. I think what I'm going to be trying to do with this receiver now is take a look at its sensitivity. When I was testing it with a proper antenna, I was left with the impression that although it was receiving, it really wasn't generating the kind of volume that the radio should generate. In fact, I think I had the volume turned maximum the entire time I was using it. So somewhere something is not quite working right to produce the volume that the radio really should produce. It could be in the audio circuits, could be in the radio. I really have no idea where. So I think the first thing I want to do is kind of set up a situation here where I can supply a radio signal of a known amount, like let's say 50 millivolts or something like that, 50 microvolts rather, and put that on the antenna and then listen to what's coming out of the radio, maybe measure it too. And then we can start fooling around a little bit with it and see if there isn't some way to determine it, just where this weakness is. I'm pretty sure there must be a weakness in here. And there's a good chance it's a weak tube. That's quite possible. But it could be some other component or tuning issue that I haven't covered yet. So anyway, I'll set up my equipment here and we'll get going on this. Oh, first, hey, it's Wednesday, Wednesday in the middle of August. Okay, let's get everything set up here. Okay, so one of the first things I've got to do is get my signal generator putting out a known signal, or at least pretty close to what I really want coming out. Now I've got it dialed up to 1 megacycle, 1 megahertz. And I just need to calibrate this meter up here. Just make sure everything's set right. 5. Okay, and this is up full, so we'll set this until the meter reads 10 up here. Now the unit is calibrated. So at this point, the output, I can flip that like that, even though now my signal generator won't be responding. Okay, so now it's 10 times 10. There's 100 microvolts on the coming out of this machine heading for the receiver. 100 microvolts, and that's a pretty strong signal. That should be easily received. So I think we're ready to turn on the radio here. Just making sure of everything. Okay. There we go. Now, I did a little bit of work on the radio last night, and I've put in proper batteries in these two positions. I've taken out the 3-volt batteries. I've installed 1.5-volt batteries. I managed to use the clips as they are by simply reversing the polarity of the wiring coming to the clips and installing the batteries flipped around. Maybe while we're letting the radio warm up, I'll show you that a little more closely here. Okay, so what I've done here with the battery is I've simply placed a washer on top of the clip, the old battery housing if you like, and placed the battery on top of the washer and then the clip on top of the battery. Now the polarity of these batteries in backwards, but I reversed the wiring back here. Likewise with this one, done exactly the same thing here. So now they have a proper 1.5 volt supply, or just about proper, I guess. So that really shouldn't be an issue anymore in this radio to be concerned about. Before, with the 3-volt batteries in there, I was worried that, of course, the extra voltage was doing something to the radio. So that can't be the case now. It's working the way it was designed to work. Okay, let's take a look at what band we're on here. We're on this band here, and we want to be on there. That's the band we want to be on. You can see the light there now. And we need to be tuned up in this area here. Turn up the volume. Ooh, that doesn't sound very good. It's the AM band, so It's an unmodulated signal I'm sending here right now. Should have got it somewhere in that range. Okay, I'll put on the modulation here. 30%, 400 Hertz. There it is. I just went by it before. Now we're doing this in the AM band, and there's an awful lot of interfering signals, which you can hear as I was tuning. And those interfering signals coming from things in my house or wherever they're coming from are actually much stronger than ordinary radio signals that might reach the radio, or even the signal from my signal generator at 100 microvolts. So it's a little bit of a battle to use an AM radio in this kind of environment, the broadcast band. Okay, now you can hear it, but how strong is it? Well, I guess we could look at the magic eye and judge from that, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to hook up a meter that'll monitor the AVC voltage, and we can see as we tune just what the AVC voltage is doing. That's going to give us some notion on at least how strong the signal is when it exits the IF string. So I'll get that set up now. Okay, so let's take a peek at the schematic here, and we'll look for a good place to pick off the AVC voltage. Now, the magic eye on radios like this it's responding directly to the AVC voltage. The AVC voltage is right on the grid. So the 6x6 here, and there's the grid. And right up here, and there's one of those two batteries right there. It's on the positive side of the battery is where the AVC voltage is applied to the grid of the eye tube. So I should be able to pick it up here, and on the other side of this big 500,000, if I care to look, I can pick it up there too. Now while I've been doing this, the radio's been operating, and it's been doing a few funny things. Its level has been popping up and down maybe 5 or 10%. So I don't know why that is, but there is something that is going from one state to another suddenly. Sounds like a failing component, but it could easily be a tube, or who knows. It could be all kinds of stuff. It could be contacts, all kinds of things. So I'm trying to keep aware of that. So let's hook up onto this terminal, and we'll see how that goes. Okay. So I'm using my digital meter here, which I really didn't want to use, but I'm going to start with that. And here's the battery. And there it is right there. You see a negative voltage. Around minus a volt. So a negative voltage relative to the chassis. Pretty good indication that that's the AVC voltage. Now, just clip it on. Easier said than done. I'm going to go on the other side of the battery. So now we're seeing the same voltage plus the battery voltage. Minus 2.3. And as I tune the radio, this should go up and down. Let's see, it looks like the lowest, something like 2.3. There's the signal, 2.6. Well, this should be varying. In most radios, it's varying 8 or 10 volts, sometimes as much as 15 volts up and down. This is hardly moving. I'll boot. A couple things here. I'm still on restricted power, so let's take it off restricted power here. Yikes! That was pretty exciting. Okay, we're still putting in a relatively low signal. Notice everything got quite a bit louder. Yeah, there's lots of volume. Maybe I'm chasing down a problem that no longer exists. So, let's tune again, we'll see what happens here. Oh! Hard to believe, eh? There's actually a stronger signal here now. There. Okay, so I'm going to increase the input signal. Turn down the volume by a factor of 10. We'll see what happens to this. Yeah, more negative. Now I think the radio is in a fairly listenable state. The noise in that has kind of disappeared. The program material, the 400 hertz you're hearing, is coming through. There was distortion in this radio too. Well, that's better. Let's take it up another 10. This would be a very strong signal now. Well, that's not too bad, actually. Starting to think there really isn't a problem here. Oh, did you hear that? A little doot doot. Keep my eye on this and wait for it to do that again. But we might be waiting quite a while, so. Could be almost anything. Could be my leads here. Didn't we go through this already once? Okay. Well, I'm not sure that there's any kind of problem here, to be honest with you. Wow. Let me let's try another band. Let's try another band. Because that's pretty good. Look, I heard they had the volume up. That's really good news. Okay, another band. Another band. We'll go to... go to the shortwave band, which is the one that's down here. And we're tuned right close to 10 right now. Oop. Right around 10. Bring this up to 10. Oh, almost dead on. Still up at 100 microvolts, although it's not calibrated anymore. So we just turn it down. Set. Wow. Can we find it? Right there. Wow. Very good. Now, is it coming anywhere else? Oh. Wow. Okay. Really good news. This radio is now receiving with virtually no antenna. This is what it has for an antenna. This wire, the black one actually, the black one connected to my signal generator, that's the antenna, and we're listening to shortwave. Excellent. And the volume is? Lots of volume. Back to the signal generator. Now to change the signal generator frequency, it's better actually to change the signal generator frequency and see if any signals show up in another spot here, another setting. So we're still on 10. Very good. It's really very excellent. Maybe we're done with this guy. Now last night something else I did. I took a little bit of time and I tried testing the two filter capacitors that are in the set on the basis that there was a hum and perhaps the filter capacitors in the power supply filter capacitors were worn out. I tested them with my capacitor tester. You know what, I'm not so sure what to say about them. They're there, they have capacitance. The one's rating is 16 on my checker, it's coming out around 12. So I don't know if there's any hum solution, if there's even any hum at this point. Because I really don't hear a hum. Wow. That's right, and I desensitized or I turned down the output of the signal generator. So it's putting out now. Well, let's calibrate it and be absolutely sure about what we're getting here. Just be absolutely sure. So we're up on the, and here, we need to have this over here. Make sure we're on 10, flip that like that. This is now in a calibrated state. Whoops, put this over here. So it's reading 10. So that's 1,000 microvolts. That's 100 microvolts now. That's, the fact that I received that shortwave station kind of suggests it's more sensitive than what I'm getting here. Here I've got 100 microvolts. I really got 110 times 10. Oh yeah. That's definitely 10 times 10, that's 100 microvolts. Well, let's go down to 10. Well, it's picking up the carrier a little bit. But you know, this receiver is not really meant to necessarily receive something quite that weak. Okay, let's go see if we can pick up some more shortwave here. Why not? Let's swing it around. I'm trying to watch this pointer down here. Whoops. Pointer down here, so we're right around 10. So this is in. It's a signal generator again. Yeah. Okay, so there is a bit of an image there. That's interesting. So no ground, no signal.
Desde la Segunda Guerra Mundial, más de medio siglo como directora. El arte nos hace mejores, esa alegría y felicidad, nos hace descubrir que nosotros mismos.
Probably coming from Cuba or Radio Marti out of the States. Go up around 15 here. Well, let's put a real antenna on it. Let's put an outdoor antenna onto it. And let's see what we get. Oh, here we are. Not a big change. What happened to what we were hearing down here? There we are. 2.8 on the meter here.
Ayer fue un día grande para los deportistas cubanos en el exterior. Ganaron 3 medallas de plata y un boxeador. Lorenzo Sotomayor logró garantizar medalla de bronce, pero pudiera garantizar plata y también ganar oro en el boxeo olímpico de Río de Janeiro. Anoche Orlando Ortega con la medalla de plata en los 110 metros con vallas en las Olimpiadas de Río, representando a España. En tanto, el cubano-americano Daniel Leiva adjudicó ayer martes 2 medallas de oro.
I think I heard him say Radio Marti in there. Check to make sure my antenna is actually switched on here. Okay, what's going on here? I convinced myself last night that the black wire was the antenna lead and the white wire was the chassis ground. I'm going to hook the antenna up here. It was my intention to make the black wire the ground wire, but last night I convinced myself I must have done something and got it the other way around. Now I'm convincing myself the other way. Okay, that's interesting. That means I've been feeding the signal generator in incorrectly also. But I don't know if that would make a real difference, because the radio itself is not grounded. It's on an isolation transformer. So, oh yeah, let's see what we can pick up now. Around 15. Nothing. It's like the only signal in town is this one down here. A couple down here. Radio China. There's no perceptible hum in it either anymore. So I think we've reached the end of the road with this guy. Maybe what I'll do is one more test up against... oh, let's see the magic eye. Oh. Let's see the magic eye before we reach conclusions here. How could I do that? Magic eye's kind of hidden around there. Okay, let's take a look at it.
Suerte, a ver si ustedes por fin se ganan un dinerito ahí para el fin de semana que ya está en las puertas.
Ya está para el fin de año.
También lo pueden guardar, lo pueden ahorrar, pero bueno, para que se ganen algo, pueden buscarnos en Facebook en Con Voz Propia Martí, pueden escribirnos a Con Voz Propia Radio, @
Okay, so I think I'm going to tune in the signal generator now. Which I need to connect. So antenna off, signal generator on. Just try another spot on the band here where it's quieter. There we go. Turn down the volume a bit. Now we're going to put a heavier signal in here. Okay, so that's a whopper of a signal now. No distortion on it. Excellent. And this would be a moderate signal. Hey, you know what? This is all testing out really, really good. I think I'm done. I think that's it. Yeah, one more time for a full test compared against a couple of shortwave radios once again back in my at my listening post, and I think I can verify that this radio is done. Fantastic. Very happy. It's about time I got something done. Wow. Okay. Hey, thanks a lot for watching, and catch you on what am I going to do next. Not sure what I'm going to work on next.